guys, it's finally here. My next video has come, and this time we will talk about another game that I have played recently, and I have played it very recently. I have played it for the last 3 or 4 days, and it is Songs of Conquest. But first of all, let's catch up on our last video. Well, last time we have talked about Final Fantasy X, and now, as my feelings have calmed down a bit, I think in retrospective it is a decent game. I think 6 out of 10, score, if you like, have a score, is pretty much guaranteed. In a good way, of course. I think many people underestimate 6 out of 10 games, and we are talking about 6 out of 10 game during 2025. If we are talking about gaming culture in 2002 or 2003 when it was released, I think this game would have scored more. This game has a very great mood. As I said before, it has a very, very good music. And that's why Final Fantasy X-2 is a garbage game. And some fans of the series would tell me that I haven't tried it enough. But this game was most certainly wasn't made for me. It has a very different mood. The first game was a very mellow game. It was somewhat of a tragic journey of the characters in a game that is defined by death. And in this game, you just let me give you an example, okay? The most usual enemy in the first game is just usual monsters. Yeah, and how do these monsters come into life? Simple. When a person dies, and the local priest doesn't send them into the afterlife, they become corrupt, and they become these monsters. That's why you they can attack pretty much anyone who goes into the wilderness. In the second game, you can collect them as the Pokemon or something like that. It is ridiculous. Imagine. Let me give you another example. Imagine, collecting a videotape, that was made in the 80s or 70s, before the modern times, in the ancient times, if you will, and you put it into a modern device that was made by a 10-year-old kid, and it gives you a new suit that gives you superpowers. That is stupid. Why does Yuna, who dedicated her life and her whole existence to becoming a summoner, white mage essentially, with abilities to summon and many other cultural baggage, just can't heal anymore, but she has to use this memory sphere that she got on the island where she was born from, in some dang cave, and that's how she gets that ability. It's stupid. It is. It very much is. And with the guns, stupid. The whole idea with the suits is stupid. The whole game just gives up this very, very, bootleg anime style, almost like slice of life anime. It is ridiculous, Anime was a mistake, as we all know, and this game defines that, sentence. So 10-2 goes out of the window. I'm not even sure if I will try it, but maybe I will. But it certainly won't be soon. Such a retarded, premise of a game. Anyway, during this week I've played some different games. I played Warcraft 3, Direct Strike mode. I have played, or at least I have tried to play Rocket League. Uh, Poker Night at the Inventory. I remembered that these two games existed, first and second game, and they still kind of hold up. They're fun little games. And a couple of days ago, I get a notification from Steam that one of the games that is on my wish list goes on a discount. And what game was what kind of a game that was? I just decided to check out, and it was Songs of Conquest. Quite a modern game, but from more of the old school kind of crowd, and the price, without DLC, it costs less than $3. That is very, very good deal. So I decided to buy the game. I tried to buy the copy for my friend. It didn't work out with DLC, so I bought him the one without DLC. If he likes the game, he will buy it himself, or I will buy him. It doesn't matter much. But I've tried the game, and it is glorious. It is quite fun. The game started not slow per se, but it gave off cautious vibes, when you're kind of waiting that something, something that you might not necessarily like will creep up on you. And me being a Slav, of course, makes it necessary for me to compare this game to its spiritual predecessor, and the spiritual predecessor, of course, is Heroes of Might and Magic 3. I have played the game Heroes, through all of my childhood, a little bit here, a little bit there. I really respect the game. I didn't complete much in terms of campaigns, but in local multiplayer sessions with my friends, I played it plenty. And I have my own fair share of wins. I really, I really respect the game. If there is, some defining games for a genre, and turn-based strategy with RPG elements is the genre of choice, Heroes of Might and Magic 3 is the pinnacle of it. No one has came close in terms of quality. Well, some people tried, and their tries were definitely cool. There were a lot of good games developed, like other Heroes of Might and Magic games, 4 and 5, like King's Bounty, from the Nival. It was a decent game. And of course, Endless Legend. It is slightly different game. It is more like civilization with fantasy, overhaul. But still, there were some RPG elements and fantasy setting and yada yada yada. I think it counts, and it is a decent game. I enjoyed it a little bit. I need to return to it when the opportunity presents itself. Maybe it is better than I thought. But Heroes of Might and Magic 3, since it was released in late 90s, it is still the best. Community carries that game hard. Horn of the Abyss mod is so popular that a lot of people play it to this day. New factions are released, new content is released. Um, Pretty much every computer that I owned, and I mean every computer, even shitty as little notebook kinds, all of them had Heroes 3 installed on them because it's only half a gigabyte and it is glorious, as I said. Pretty much what the game is about. The game is about heroes, who could have thought, being controlled as the members of their faction. They are like generals of an army, and they travel the map from their cities. You have to improve your cities so cities can output more money and better units and better features for you. And heroes travel the adventure map in search of resources, in search of enemies, of course, because you need those experience, and you need to conquer other towns. And that's pretty much the whole game. You play as several heroes. You don't really play as one hero, and you just conquer the map, the world map in which you have started. And the more you do it, the more complicated the game becomes. And that is the problem for many, the fans of the series, because you just can't play this game fast enough. If you play a small map, you can, you can have an afternoon with your friends and you will complete the game by nightfall, yeah. But usually, what ends up being, you start in the morning, you play all day long, and the next day you can't gather the same crowd again, so the save basically becomes abandoned. And in terms of classic multiplayer experience, not many games are going to the conclusion, and that's why many fans of the series haven't even tried multiplayer much, and that is a little bit of a shame. And I have the same. I have had the same problem too. And here, where Songs of Conquest comes about. This game is faster. It has not as much of different kinds of resources. The progression is simpler, and in most cases, the game is simpler overall, even in terms of graphics. What Songs of Conquest is, it is a love letter to Heroes 3, from what I can tell. The developers are not a big team. It is pretty much an indie game in everything but name. And it has pixelated graphics. It doesn't have much voiceover. All the dialogue comes in texts and text boxes. And well, also the good thing about this game that it doesn't weigh much in terms of data on your PC as well. Also, you can play it on, if I remember correctly, you can play it on Switch, you can play it on consoles, and even on your phone. I don't know if it has cross-platform multiplayer, but I wouldn't be surprised if it had. And being a modern heroes-like game, it succeeds through uh, some means. You know, there are different means how it tries to being its own beast and improving on Heroes formula as well. As I said before, you don't have as many resources, so your progression is somewhat simplified. You don't have as many skills on your heroes, and you can branch out into the other towns. Because if you play Heroes 3, one of the main features that you, while playing a human town, you can conquer something like the classic Rampart, you know, Elf and Dwarves town, and branch out into their units as well, profiting of their features. And here you can do that. You basically committing to the faction that you're playing. Uh, and that is both good and bad. It's not necessarily terrible. I think it's mostly good because the game's simpler, and it basically comes down to the main feature of the game. When Heroes of Might and Magic was, as the name suggests, heroes of both might and magic, you progress through units and your magic spells both. Here it is mostly magic. Heroes not even called heroes. They're welders or wielders. I think welders sounds much more fun, of course. And Basically, what that means, if your usual commander in the world of Songs of Conquest, you can just control your units and that's it. But if you're a wielder, you get essences. You know, each round your unit stacks give essences. If you have special skills, you get essences from them. And You can get some more essences through items you collect and through adventure map. You know, you can uh, have some obelisks that can give you buffs for one battle or something like that. And while you have that, each time you collect these essences, and there are 5 or 6 kinds of them, you know, order, chaos, destruction, that kind of thing. uh, Essences are basically like different kinds of mana, and in traditional heroes game you can cast only one spell per overall turn, while here you can cast as much spells as you want as long as you have the respective essences, and that's great. Also, you can use the same spell sometimes, not every time, on the same unit multiple times, and the buffs they stack. That's also cool. And you don't have adventure map spells. You only have spells during the fights. That's why you know that wielder thing is so important. Basically, what the gameplay comes down to, you're either committing strictly to units or strictly to spells, with of course, some kinds of units spiced up. And If you're playing the first way, you just get all the units that you want and make sure that you have enough essence for buffing them. And the second way is you basically make sure that every slot, and I'm talking about single player experience. You know, I haven't played multiplayer, of course, but it's easily counterable in multiplayer. You make sure that every slot in your army is picked by at least one unit, so you get enough essences to spam as much spells as you can. And of course, you have your hard hitters on the front lane, and it's quite fun. It feels different and it plays different. You have in the classic D&D, each unit has his own area of control. So if units walk through these controlled tiles, your unit attacks automatically, opportunity attacks. That's cool. Ranged units are not as busted as in Heroes. That is amazing. You need to think carefully where you put them. There is elevation mechanics, so there are different tiles on the map. Some are higher, some are lower, and you benefit when you get high grounds. And the sieges are very fun in the game. But what is bad about this? Why the Heroes of Magic and Might 3 is not as good, for some people might be at least, than Songs of Conquest, and it is the lack of content. If in Heroes 3 you have 8 on default, 9 with expansions, and 11 on HOTA, pretty much everyone I know plays HOTA if they play multiplayer, Horror of the Abyss mod. Here you have only 4 factions on default, and there are 2 more that you can get through DLCs. So 6 overall. 6 compared to 9 or 11 is, of course, not as much, especially since in Heroes you can branch out into different towns. Here you cannot, or it will bust your magic system to complete shreds. Also, in Heroes you have a big variety in terms of neutral units. Right now I'm playing through the second campaign of the Songs of Conquest, and I only met some bandits and something like that of a kind that couldn't be called defining town unit. That I can definitely say that it is neutral unit, because every other time I just picking off neutral versions, or just aggressive version on the overall map of the other towns, or even my own town units, and that lack of variety is it's not amazing, to say the least. But it is all right, let's see. I'm just playing through the second campaign, and so far it's been good. Right. So now we know major differences. Let's go, to the lesser differences. Well, in terms of sounds, when I started the game and I have played through the first campaign. Of course, I was scratching my head and was kind of missing these classics, Paul Anthony Romero tracks, because Heroes 3 has maybe the best soundtrack of all the game in history. Paul Anthony Romero made a glorious job. I use word glorious a lot, today. And here you have, some more of a typical modern fantasy soundtrack. But the more I listen to it, the more I start to appreciate it for what it is, and what it is not. And it's actually pretty damn alright. It is it is good. It's not best, but it is good. It just, I think, it's quite difficult for composers to match up to the bald man himself, and they have done a good job. The second faction, the Swamp faction that I play, it has a great soundtrack as well, so that's good. In terms of lore and aesthetics, it has its own distinct world, with its magic system and factions. And in my opinion, it's it's good that they have simplified a lot of it. So when you play through it, you won't be bothered by unnecessary lore dumps. Uh, but but when I have played it, the first campaign, I was getting a lot of the Fall of Lordaeron, uh, the first campaign of Warcraft 3 vibes. When you play a hero that that's getting less and less likable, who falls deeper and deeper into you know into his own demons. But there is a little bit of switcheroo on the last mission, so that was kind of neat. A second mission is like founding of Duratar from the same game, but we'll see where it goes. I am getting afraid that the main hero, which you play, the Rat Frogman, he is a little bit of a Mary Sue, but I like the vibes, I like the vibes, how they wish to abolish slavery and all of that. So far, that has been fun. But I think a little bit, I don't mean the whole campaign, a little bit of voiceover could have been better, because they promote this game as Songs of Conquest, so you get a little bit of a song when you complete each mission for your faction, which pretty much covers, the story that you have witnessed already. And these songs aren't great. They're all right. Just they aren't great, and that's all. You don't get more voiceover than that, as far as I have seen. But I hope it gets better, and I think uh, if you aren't bothered too much about having the best sound quality in the business, you can still have the game that can run even on a potato, and doesn't weigh much data, and still be good. You know, I think it could be better. There is a lot to do about the game. Also, have to note that, but the game is deceptively. It feels deceptively small, but actually it's bigger. And I mean that in size of the missions that you play during the campaign. They could be as short as 10 minutes and as long as several hours. That is cool. But when you get new factions, you don't get separate campaigns for them. the DLC factions. Uh, as far as I know, you get several kind of story-ish missions, so you're not entirely devoid of lore, but it's not the same. Many people have been outspoken about this, and as far as I know, there are a lot of people who like the campaigns. So that's about the lore and aesthetics. I think it it is slightly barren, but there are a lot of cool ideas put into it, like the human faction being a hybrid with Fae, you know, fairies. It is kind of silly, but it works in a context. The frog faction is amazing. I love it. It feels very great, and I'm not even half through their campaign, so I know there is more. Undead faction, I haven't played as yet, but from what I have seen, it it is very generic. And the last faction, it's another human faction, but with more of steampunk kind of style. It feels solid too. Yeah, and I'm waiting to experience more of the game through their perspective as well. The game mechanics are solid. Uh, as I was playing, I was constantly getting the feel that uh, the game, when you travel through the adventure map, it always trims as much fat as possible from the Heroes 3 formula, because when when you find something new in Heroes 3, you get a text box which has classic role play description of how you ventured in the tall grass and see how the halfling dances there. Classic leprechaun, and then you catch him, and he swears that he will give you the pot of gold if you let him go. And it is quite fun because you basically, what you're playing as, the general who's going through the real fantasy world. Here it's very much simplified. Think about that, because uh, pretty much all that you visit are the resources, the artifacts, the neutral units, and the buff units. Being it constant buffs, you can buff your experience bar or buff your skills like offense and defense, and the not constant buffs. You can get a movement buff for a couple of days, and you can get buffs for your next battle. More essences, more damage, and so on and so forth. And neutral units. You can buy units of your faction through the kind neutral buildings. Maybe some I missed, but that's pretty much it. And there is no aesthetic, as I said, these text box. They are assumed when you're visiting them. What you see is what you get, and that is mostly good for me. I think this game is not afraid to be different. It is not afraid to be simpler, and I love it. Pixelated graphics in 2025. The fashion for pixelated graphics in the indie developer community was very prevalent a decade ago or 15 years ago. Early 2010s, and now it is more like when you see a pixelated game, you think, let's see, let's see where they're going, because sometimes you just feel the developers are lazy. Here, it is all right, but sometimes the buildings and structures that you meet on the adventure map, they can blend in a little bit with the environment, at least for me, because in Hero 3 they are very much defined. If you see something, you know that it is an active thing, that you can click on, that you can visit on, and you get some kind of an effect. Here it is a little bit not as defined, but the more I play, the more I get used to it, so it's getting a lot better. So maybe it's just my issue, of course. And yeah, the designs of units, it is very cool. There are many creatively done units, and I am going to play this game a little bit more, and maybe I will give my own opinion about it later when I can structure it a little bit better. But so far, it is a blast. It is one of the best games that I have played in a recent while, and I urge any of you listening to try it out. It is very fun. And I am trying to get as many as my friends as possible to play it with me. So far, I haven't got much success in it directly, although some of my friends have bought the game. That's the start. And as I will try more of the campaigns, I will be more inclined to bother my friends to try out the multiplayer. So that's about it. I hope we will talk soon, and until next time, see ya.